There we go. So we are live and recording, I hope. And I've got my iPad here as well so that we can be interactive. And if you have comments or questions as we go along, you can drop them in the comments below. And if I don't get to them all during our time together, I will go back and answer them if for any reason I don't see a comment or question. So we're just going to dive in by listening to a quick little video to get us in the mood.
Today is the day that everything changes. Look at you. You're so young, vibrant, and full of energy. So much more life ahead of you, and yet already so wise. I wonder, did you know then what I know now? That when you made this choice, it would set us on a course for a truly rich and powerful life. You wanted an edge, a little extra flexibility, faster recovery from those spontaneous adventures, feeling good, clear mind, confidence, and abundant energy to embrace everything you set your sights on. Yes, including him. Your commitment to wellness gave me the hope I have today. Motherhood changes your world. Some days things may feel a little upside down. Oof, the juggle is so real. But mostly you hold it all together with ease and grace. Keeping up with the kids, crushing it at work. Every room you walk into feels more alive. And because of her, you have a new reason to recommit to yourself. Your healthy habits become the legacy you hand down. In all the years to come, you're still full of energy. You still have an edge. Yes, your body changes, but mostly in ways that you love. You still go on spontaneous adventures. You can still keep up with the kids. And you still embrace everything life has to offer. Because of this day and your commitment to everyday since, to move with intention, to eat well, to laugh often, to stay centered, to teach by example, to reach for every advantage. Every day you made a commitment to me, your future self. So I just want to say thank you for the choice you make today to live your most powerful life.
Nice. So I want to thank you for being here today. Welcome. And for making health a priority. You wouldn't be tuning in if it wasn't important to you. And thank you to those who are watching live. I know we have a number of people that registered to receive the recording, but live is always fun too. So hi, Mickey. Lisa, my Sedona sister, so happy to see you here. Teresa, just saw Teresa this morning. It's a double dose of Teresa. Meg, so good to see you. Donna, Ed, I'm so glad that we have some people joining in live, and feel free to make some comments or questions as we go along. So here is my plan for us this evening. I want you to walk away with a little bit more information on your metabolic health. And if that's the only thing that happens, if you learn something new and it makes you rethink some of the pillars of metabolic health, which we're going to get into, then I will feel that this was a success. I'm also going to offer you an invitation to take it to the next step at the end. And throughout the discussion, we're going to talk about whether our metabolism controls us or we control it, and why there is this epidemic right now going on with metabolic health, why we need an awakening. We're going to talk about health span, aging. It's happening. We're going to have aged by the time we get off this recording. It's happening every moment. And we're going to talk about some tools to slow that process and put more life into your years. I did a little Facebook Live today on my personal page, and I usually reserve this group for business lives and things like that, and educational lives. But I shared it on my personal page today because I do have a personal attachment to this topic. And it's not just how long we live, it's how well we live. And if you saw that live, thank you for watching it. And if not, I'll just give a little background of why this topic is important for me and why throughout a lot of my career, while I've done a lot of different things, health has always been really paramount. And that's because when I was in middle school, my father, who was 38 years old at the time, had a triple bypass open heart surgery. He was given a 25 to 30% chance of not making it through that surgery. He was flown from where we lived at the time in Detroit to the Texas Heart Institute, and the world-renowned surgeon, Dr. Denton Cooley, who was involved in the first heart transplant, did the surgery. He was the only surgeon that would do it. And my father wrote an article about the experience afterwards, and it was called Take Time to Smell the Flowers, Take Time to Stop and Smell the Flowers. His career, his field was in risk management at that time. And he talked about his experience in terms of risk management, the risk factors. So he kind of turned it into a business type of article based on what his industry and his specialty was. But really the bottom line of that was that almost all factors that impact our health and how well we live are in our control. Yes, there's always some things that aren't in our control, but for the most part, there are a lot in our control. So, what is preventing you from living your most powerful life? Take a look at this slide, and if there is one thing that jumps out at you that's like, oh, that's my hot button, that's really difficult for me, I would love for you to drop it in the comments below. Whether it's energy or sleep or weight, or you might say all of the above. It's all of them. But I'd love to hear from you. What is the hot button? So just taking a peek. So when I look down, I've got to look at looking at our chat. Swipe left to look at comments. All right. I know, I trust that you will put something in there and I will eventually see it. So think about how you're feeling recently. Let's just say, okay, we've got weight, we've got clarity. Yeah, can relate. Weight, yep, that's always a popular one. And the great thing, I think, when we get together with these kind of conversations is that we listen to what others share and we say, oh, wow, you have that? Me too. So I think that is really a powerful part in gathering with this. So think about how you've been feeling recently, and on a scale of 1 to 10, and I'm not going to ask you to share this, but I want you to think in your own mind, in each of these topics, what would you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? So 1 means this is a really important area for me to focus on improving right now. And 10 means I feel great about this area. It's not holding me back. It's really, not a problem for me. So just think about that. And you might want to jot down these 6 areas and kind of have those in your mind in terms of what's preventing you from living a really powerful life. So moving on to the next slide. We always talk about in health that wellness starts at a cellular cellular level. And if you are a customer in doTERRA, if you've done any wellness education with me, you have seen this pyramid. This is our wellness pyramid, and it was created around foundational health principles that really build on one another. So you can think of it a little bit like Jenga, right? Anybody play Jenga? If you take one thing out of there, if you take something out of the foundation, it's going to topple over, right? Especially if you take the bottom rung out, because nutrition, digestion, movement, metabolism, they're going to impact everything else, right? If you're not moving and you're not eating well, then, informed self-care is, not going to be as powerful for you. So one of the reasons I love working with doTERRA is that they are proactive. We are all about proactive, natural ways to address root concerns, not a Band-Aid approach, not temporary or superficial solutions. And that's one reason I was attracted to this work. But in the conversation today, we're going to focus on the metabolism level of this pyramid. So you see that I'm pointing, but you can't see me pointing on my screen. The movement and metabolism, that yellowish level there, we're going to focus on that level of the wellness pyramid. And we're going to talk about how you can support your body on a cellular level so that you can really feel vibrant no matter what age you are. Because aging is not a dirty word, right? The alternative is not fun. So aging is going to happen. It's happening to us every moment. But aging gracefully and aging with a vibrant energy level and able to move, that's what I'm going for, right? So the lifestyle choices that you make every day are going to be the foundation for your wellness. And we've made this little, easy to follow wellness path. Hi, Marion. See Marion chiming in. So we're going to talk about what that journey could look like for you. So let's talk about metabolic health for a moment. Good metabolic health means that your body's able to absorb and digest the nutrients that you get from your food, and you're able to keep your blood sugar levels stable, stable levels of blood fat and insulin, and fluctuations in this is pretty normal. That happens with all of us, but it's really important to avoid big spikes, which can contribute over time to health issues or long-term health problems. And health, spikes can happen all different ways, all different things that contribute to that. And there are ways to still enjoy things. And I am a huge believer about balance. So last night I got home from working out and I had a really awesome dinner, a huge salad, also some chicken, I think is what we had, and some vegetables. We have salad at every dinner every single night, so I always have a lot of salad. And I enjoyed a little bit of Halloween candy. Now, because I had that protein and veggies first, my blood sugar would not have spiked as much if I just jumped right into the Kit Kat. So there are ways. It's not like I'm saying, oh, you've got to take anything, that you enjoy out of the equation. That is never the case. So the good news is that the choices that you make every day put you in control of your metabolic health. And your metabolism can be optimized no matter what age you are or what stage of life you are, based on these 5 pillars. And I've actually been writing and talking about these 5 pillars I've been talking about 4 of these pillars for over 30 years in my work. And then smart supplementation is something that I began talking about when I started working with doTERRA. All of these things are keys to helping you unlock optimal metabolic health. And the smart supplementation, and why I have really been drawn to that, why I've come to also work with that, is because that's how you double down on the other pillars. It gets you a better rate of return. And when I say smart supplementation, I also mean quality supplementation. Back in the day, I was popping the 1-a-day vitamin, and it wasn't probably doing anything for me, but in my head I was like, I'm taking vitamins, it's awesome. But quality is key. I remember when I first started getting education, I went through a certification that was also related to metabolic health. The instructor was talking about how the number one thing, I don't know if this is an urban myth or not, so don't quote me on it, but the number one thing in the New York sewer system was I believe it was the Centrum vitamins, because they just passed right through you. They didn't really do their job. So smart supplementation helps you double down on all of the other pillars. So what does optimal metabolic health look like for you? Maybe it looks like more energy so you can keep up with your kids or your grandkids and your social life. Maybe it means more stamina throughout the day. It might mean getting rid of cravings such as caffeine or carbs. It could be that you have better endurance during your workouts. It might be clearer mental clarity. But really it means, helping you look and feel great. Just making sure, any comments, feel free to make any comments on this. If you look at these 5 pillars and you say, you know what one I really nail, I'd love to know what your success is. Which one of these areas are you like, yes, I've got it? For me, it's daily movement. That is something that has been a lifetime habit for me. I've always, in one way or another, danced my whole life, worked out, taught exercise. So daily movement, I got it. I got it down. Oh, Mickey tells me I'm cutting out. So I don't know. It doesn't say that I'm unstable. If anybody else says I'm cutting out, just let me know. I'd love to know if other people are having trouble or if it's on my end. Thank you for that, Mickey. So daily movement is something I got that down. Healthy eating depends on the week. So most of the time, but so let's move on to the next slide. Oh, okay. Meg says it's good on her end. So it might be your connection, Mickey. I'm not sure. So how's your metabolic health? This is a scary and unfortunate statistic. Under 7% of US adults have optimal cardiometabolic health. Yikes, I'm very scared. So that means that out of every 14 people that you meet, 13 of them have suboptimal metabolic health. And most don't even realize it. What they may realize is they don't have very good sleep. They wake up multiple times during the night. They have a crash of energy at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They have aches and pains when they wake up. They have some extra weight that they're carrying. They have some brain fog. They may have all of those things and they may realize it, but what they may not connect it to is that is related to suboptimal metabolic health. So think about whether or not you know what your own biomarkers are for blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, your healthy weight range. Those are important things to know. And also to consider your family's history with cardiovascular health. I just shared with you that my father had a triple bypass at age 38. He died of a heart attack just 2 weeks after turning 52. So that's a factor I can't control. I have a family history that it is what it is, right? So all the other things, though, are things that I can control. So these are health markers that were reviewed in a study, as you see on the bottom of that page, of a good sample of adults 20 years and older. And this helps us predict the quality of lifespan. So we all know people. You can tell me if you know someone, maybe you can share their name, that looks younger than their age, younger than the number of candles on their birthday cake. Or maybe you know someone who looks a lot older, and they just seem a lot older. Don't share their name. Yes, biomarkers like blood pressure, normal blood work, etc. Yes, thanks for asking that, Meg. Thanks for me to clarify that. So I definitely know that. Like, I think of my friend Anne, and Anne, I just went out with her to celebrate her 85th birthday. Damn, you would not know she's 85. That woman is out traveling. She plays the violin. She plays tennis. She goes to Pilates. She drives. She lives here in Norwalk near me, and she drives to Boston to get her hair cut still every month. she looks beautiful. So she's a person that, looks younger than her years. So different people can look to be different ages on a cellular level too. And it's our biological age. So biological age is a measure of how young your cells appear based on how healthy they are or how they behave. So we don't always know what's happening internally, right? Just as outward appearance doesn't always represent numerical age, cellular health doesn't always line up with it either. So there is good news about that. Is when you take control of your metabolic health, you also slow down the signs of biological aging. That means you look younger or your age or younger. So, and it extends your health span. So don't take my word for it. There's a lot of research on this. There's some latest research from Harvard, other very top tier organizations, and it shows us that metabolic health and biological age are inseparable. And this means the stronger and healthier your metabolic function, the younger you're going to feel from the inside out. There is a massive industry that focuses on helping us look young from the outside. But what I'm inviting you to think about it is getting healthy from the inside. So it's a fact of life. We age, so does our metabolic function. And because your metabolism influences your energy, your weight, your body composition, your sleep, even your cognitive performance, how we're thinking, a decline in metabolic health can actually really dramatically impact the quality of your life. So simply put, taking control of your metabolic health now is how you control the rate of your age inside and out. There's plenty of research on that, and I invite you to dig deeper into that yourself. So I want to share this video with you. This is Dr. Russell Osguthorpe, and how much do we love Dr. O, for those who might be listening who are doTERRA customers or familiar with doTERRA. He is our chief medical officer, and I also love, another thing that I really love is that we have a lot of backing by medical doctors. He is a renowned, which just went out of my head, infectious disease specialist. And I feel that this clip describes this concept of health span and age span certainly much better than I could. So we're going to listen to just for a few moments of Dr. O. Let's see, how do we get him to play? There we go.
Hi, I'm Dr. Russell Osguthorpe, and I'm so thrilled to talk with you.
Oops, I just turned Dr. O off. How did I do that? I touched my mouse by accident. Let's bring him back. There we go.
Hi, I'm Dr. Russell Osguthorpe, and I'm so thrilled to talk with you about health span. Just to be clear, health span is not the same thing as lifespan. Lifespan is the number of years we live, whereas health span is the number of years we live healthy. Now, I know that many of you have seen this graph several times, but it is so important to our understanding of the MetaPower system that I'm going to go into greater detail than we ever have before. Because if you understand this graph, you'll take MetaPower the rest of your life and be able to share it more effectively with others. If we consider our lifespan, the number of years we are alive, on the horizontal axis here, and our health span, the quality of our cognitive and physical performance on the vertical axis here, we can draw a curve that represents what naturally happens to our health span as we age, shown here in gray. However, the reality is we live in an incredible time where medicine and science can extend our lives. This dark blue line represents what happens when we use the best of medicine to try and manage issues related to a poor lifestyle. As these interventions improve our numbers, like blood sugar, blood pressure, and lipids, we can gain a modest amount of health span and lifespan. But what is staggering to me is how little benefit is derived from decades of this type of management. Look how close that blue line is to the gray line. It's incredibly minimal. As we near the end of our life on the blue line, You can see how through heroic use of life-extending medical technology, we can extend an individual's lifespan by a few years. But look at the quality of life that person is experiencing. Our lives might be extended by these heroic medical efforts, but one could argue that they are not enriched. Finally, let's look at the orange line. This is more typical for master athletes and people stacking healthy lifestyle habits consistently throughout their lives. What is most impressive about this group of people is that health span and lifespan can both be significantly improved. People who optimize their metabolism through daily exercise, diet, relationships, stress management, and of course, smart supplementation can not only potentially live longer, but add life to those years. Here's my dream, my why for my health span. Well into my 90s, I want to be able to spend a day, many days, out fly fishing with my posterity. I'd be able on any of those days to back my truck down the ramp, unload my drift boat, launch that boat, and then row that boat myself all day long. Watch my kids and posterity catch boatloads of fish. And then at the end of my life, I'd go home from a day of fishing, enjoy dinner with my family, and peacefully pass away in my sleep. That would be a health span that matches or equals my lifespan. Let me show you how that works. Let's assume that here on the vertical axis, we have 100% quality of cognitive and physical health during young adulthood. Now let's draw a line across this chart at 50% function. This is the stage of physical and cognitive health span where we are still capable of caring for ourselves, still living independently. We might not be running a 10-minute mile anymore, but we are probably able to walk a brisk 15-minute mile without difficulty with our kids or grandkids. Said differently, above this line, you can still do the things you want to do, although you might notice slight declines in your performance as you age closer to that 50% line. Below this line, living independently becomes more difficult due to cognitive decline or having enough physical strength and stamina to perform our daily activities. Now, if we continue that line at 50% function across the chart, look at where it intersects the blue line versus the orange line. This is what you need to understand. Look at what you can gain when you optimize your metabolism. Look at those years, but more importantly, look at the life that is added to those years. Currently, in North America, toward the end of our lifespan, we spend about 8 years, sometimes as many as 15 years, dealing with challenges that take away our quality of life and lower our health span. We can't always have a health span that lines up perfectly with lifespan, but we can certainly do better. Our lifestyle choices can extend our health span, full stop. When we combine a mindful and consistent approach to our diet, movement, stress management, relationships, and smart supplementation, we can maximize all the efforts we make in improving our lifestyle and then reap the benefits for all of our years to come. There are no magic paths to achieve this goal of prolonged health span. It will require serious effort by teams of caring and coordinated people. That is what we excel at. Have you helped people change their lives with doTERRA essential oils? MetaPower will now allow you to impact not only individual lives, but generations. Here's the even better news. It does not matter where you are on the curve or how old you are when you start. Any lasting efforts made by an individual to make improvements in their lifestyle will reap tremendous benefits for years to come.
Awesome. Let's give it up for Dr. O. So he just covered this for us in depth. So who's a fan of Dr. O? That is what I'd love to know. So how do we close that gap? Even the average person starts to have aging markers in your 20s. Yikes. And by the time you reach 50, some of us are already of a certain age, our body is producing about half of something called NAD+. And if you want to get the full name of that, I will look up the spelling and the pronunciation and put it in the chat afterwards. But the important thing to know is that this is a molecule that is absolutely critical to our metabolic function and the integrity of our DNA. And it produces, if you are like me, which I am 56, my body is producing half of what it did when I was in my 20s. And that is what creates the decline of metabolic function. So what is NAD+ and why do we care? It's responsible for two types of reactions in our bodies. Metabolic function, which is, as I referenced before, converts food and nutrients into cellular energy, and cellular integrity, which protects our cellular energy factories. So that is very important because, I'm going to ask you a question. Yes, she's got the spelling. Meg, the editor and wordsmith extraordinaire, I think has it in there. I'll have to click on it to see it specifically. But because these levels fall as we age, it has very important implications to our metabolic function and negative effects on the DNA. Oops, that was very good. I just went fast forward. So let's go back a couple. Like Meg said, I'm always dancing in my chair. So I think that's the slide we're supposed to be on, but there we go. So because they fall steadily, then that has an adverse effect on our metabolic function and negative effects on our DNA, as I mentioned. And that just continues to snowball as these NAD levels decline. So what does that mean? It means that as you age, so does your metabolic function, which plays a role in our cellular wellness. And just think about staying compliant here. What kind of diseases are closely associated with the health of our cells? Many of them, right? And because your metabolism influences your weight, your body composition, your energy, and your cognitive performance, to close the gap between your lifespan and your health span, you have to really look at your metabolic health. So here are some obstacles that we face with our metabolic health. Maturing fat cells, blood sugar spikes, cellular integrity, and inferior supplements. I mentioned those before. So we have some solutions for all of these. These metabolic health obstacles affect your health span that you just heard about from Dr. O, and it makes it hard to really live well, right? We don't want to just live long, we want to live well. So as I mentioned before, doTERRA always looks at root causes, root concerns. And they have created a metabolic system, a product system that fills in those missing pieces in your wellness and lifestyle plan. So when you think about those pillars, we've got healthy eating, daily movement, etc., and smart supplementation was one of those things. And this can help bridge that gap. It's basically created with the intent to support the NAD+ levels and also NADH levels, which we'll talk about in a moment, in your body, and kind of smooths out those spikes and dips in your normal blood sugar, process. And it promotes healthy insulin activity and response. It reduces your cravings. It helps inhibit fat cells, because fat cells don't go away, right? They shrink, but they don't go away. And this is a product line that is designed to support your body on a cellular level on all of these different areas. It just a little side note, it drives me crazy when I hear people say, oh yes, muscle weighs more than fat. I actually heard a personal trainer in my gym say that. No, muscle does not weigh more than fat. A pound of muscle and a pound of fat weigh a pound. Muscle takes up less space in your body. It's more compact. So just a little side rant, but I'll get off that soapbox. So just think for a minute what it would feel like to live your most powerful life. Think about whichever area you mentioned earlier: weight, clarity, energy, sleep. What if you didn't have to think about that anymore? Your mind's clear, you're at your healthiest weight, you have a really elevated mood. When you look in the mirror, your outside matches your inside and how you feel, what would that feel like? Just close your eyes for a moment and think about that, and drop a comment in the thread. What word comes to mind? What would it feel like? Exciting, foreign, fun, whatever you think that would feel like for you to live your most powerful life. So we're going to talk a little bit about this particular supplement system. And remember, that is only one of the 5 pillars of metabolic health. So we want to, beyond awesome, Teresa says, I love it. I love it. She and I just had that conversation this morning. And yeah, like we spend a lot of energy on some of these things. It would feel like finally, oh, Meg, I love that. Finally. So I want to start this part of the conversation by saying this is not like a miracle solution. This is a piece of the puzzle. It doesn't replace healthy living. I have been seeing testimonial after testimonial, and there is actually an entire Facebook group about MetaPower testimonies, and I've shared several of them in this group. So if you want to look at them, scroll down to the thread there. And that I am excited and inspired by these testimonials, and they are one piece of the puzzle. It's not like, hey, I'm going to take these supplements and, I'm going to just eat like, chips and beer, drink beer the rest of the week, and it's all good, and I'm going to be putting up my testimonial pictures. It does not work like that. So when I invite people to come on a journey, I want to emphasize that the other aspects, like the stress management, the healthy connections, the healthy eating, are also going to be part of the process. So the MetaPower system, Meta for metabolic health, and Power actually also stands for personal wellness realized. And I want to specifically point that out because every body is different. Everybody. And everybody has different tweaks to how they get results with this. Everyone has a different process. Everybody is starting from a different point. So there are different needs. There is no one size fits all. This is a great array of products, but there is no one size fits all. So with that little intro, so remember those 5 pillars of metabolic health that we've been talking about. I'm going to just keep reminding you of them: healthy eating, daily movement, healthy connections, stress management, and smart supplementation. Well, here is smart supplementation and how you can get a greater return on your efforts with the other 4 pillars. We all eat, move, sleep, but supplementation is where MetaPower steps in. These are natural products, and we are going to combine them with the healthy lifestyle choices. And they're the keys to unlocking whatever your personal wellness is. So it's not a single product. A lot of people have asked me that question. It's a product system, and it's designed to optimize your metabolic health. Every product features the MetaPower Metabolic Blend as a primary ingredient. So here's where we tap into, harness the power of essential oils, and that fuels every aspect of this system. I have been using essential oils since 2014. I know many people in this group have taken a variety of education and workshops and such with myself and my team, and I could talk about the power of essential oils for a while, but I will not do that tonight. But every product features that special blend. So we don't want to just live a long life, we want to live a long, healthy life. And this is going to help support you with that, and it powers your body in an effective way to close that gap that Dr. O talked about between health span and lifespan. So I mentioned before the obstacles, right? So as we walk through these steps, I'm going to talk about how this system helps with these various obstacles that we mentioned before. So first of all, let's talk fat cells. The example we have here are these balloons, and I love this example. I used to always use the example of popcorn, but so when you have a cup of unpopped, corn kernels, That's kind of like, when you've got these, like your little balloons here, and then when you pop the corn, right, you have a big bowl of popcorn, takes up a lot more space. That's these balloons on the other side. So when you lose weight, you don't actually reduce the number of fat cells in your body. You simply burn the fat stored within each cell, causing them to become smaller. They shrink. That's why I remember, someone that I knew had gotten, I think, liposuction or something like that. And she was very surprised that, it was not a lasting procedure because her habits didn't change. All of those fat cells were still in there, and they may have been, shrunken for a time being, but they went back to their, regular size. So you want to think about the steps that you take to restrict the fat cell growth are what makes the biggest difference to your body fat percentage, right? You may know your BMI, your body mass index. Fat cells will grow when they have drops of fatty acids, and that's usually coming from consuming more food than we actually need. All right, so what we want to do is shrink those fat cells. We're not going to have fewer fat cells, but we want to make them smaller. They are more compact then, which means they take up less space on our body. So you can kind of use that balloon visual for that. So let's talk briefly about the metabolic blend, which is in all of the products. And this is uniquely formulated for things that you see on the screen here. Fat cell maturation, we want to inhibit that. We want to reduce our cravings, and we want to support our metabolic health, of course. So let's see, this is where things get kind of exciting. So remember that your cells, even your fat cells, actually don't live forever, though. So by using these products and combining that with the natural cell death, they do die off eventually and turn over. We have the potential to maintain new fat cells at their smallest size, right? So that means that they will be taking up less space, like we saw with those balloons. So there, in this blend, there are oils such as, let me look at my notes so I don't forget the oils, grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon bark. Those 5 oils. And when you put those together at the right ratio, and I will do a little aside here, doTERRA actually tried this in a variety of different ratios, and they did not have the same effect in their results, in their creation of the product. So it had to be in the right ratio to create this. When you combine them in the right ratio, it can be very powerful. And I have found myself in using some of these products that definitely cravings. I'm a salty food person, and so I will crave something like pretzels or something like that. And that's definitely something I've noticed that has reduced for myself. All right, so when you have blood sugar spikes, it's kind of like, you think of it as a car, right? That's why we have this little lovely visual here. If you are putting your foot to the floor on the accelerator and then slamming on the brakes constantly, eventually it is going to wear down your car. You can only do that for so long. And it's not good for your brakes. It's not good for your tires. It just, things are going to wear out. So even normal range spikes and dips in your blood sugar can also be hard on our bodies and can contribute to poor cellular function. Most people usually have a glucose spike after they eat. That is just the way that our bodies function often. But sometimes you get a glucose dip if you wait too long before you eat, right? Anybody ever get hangry? Yeah. So the more that we can smooth out the spikes and dips, we're not going to eliminate them, but the more that we can smooth them out in our blood glucose and our insulin curves, the better. So when we do that, it helps us maintain consistent energy levels during the day as well. So that's another important aspect. And I will say, I'm kind of going to begin sprinkling some of my own experiences in here. I would say one of the top things for me personally, every body is different, is the amount of energy that I have had since using these products. Energy, I already have a lot of energy a lot of the time, but my energy has been really kind of through the roof. So let's look at another piece of the puzzle here, another piece of the system, and that is the MetaPower Assist. So this is going to help us with those glucose spikes. And because the blood sugar levels are one of the most significant markers of our health, this is going to have long-term impact for us to get those, spikes and dips to a more consistent level. So coming back to that car analogy, if you're slamming on the gas and braking hard every day, that wear and tear is going to progress a lot faster than if you're driving smoothly, right? It's going to cost you more in repairs. And that's kind of like aging and health, right? That's what our like cost of doing that. So this product features mulberry leaf extract, which has been shown to reduce normal range post-meal blood sugar spikes by 42%. I'll make sure I got that correct. So I'm just double checking with my notes when you take it before or with your meal. So it helps your body metabolize what you just ate slower, which is what we want. And again, it's to be paired with a healthy diet. It's not to be in place of, pair it with junk food. Although if you have like a heavy carb meal, this is absolutely something that you'll want to have with you. So remember, less than 7% of the population in the United States has optimal metabolic health. So most people who are listening to this would be able to use a little bit of support. And this is a great way to do that. My clicker. All right, so before we go on, who else likes to geek out on science and research? I know sometimes we have people on here, they really want to dive in deep to the science. Just making sure as I'm doing if there are any more comments in the chat. Okay. So if you really like to geek out on science, doTERRA has clinical results for this product I just mentioned, the MetaPower Assist, and also other products in this system. And there's also a great in-depth online course that has a ton of content from doctors and research scientists. So if that's up your alley, then you can scan this QR code here in the bottom corner of the screen and you can get the course, because we like to provide you with a lot of information. Now, for a lot of people, it's like, I don't need that extra information, Kristen, just give me the results. But I like to serve those people who have that science curious mind. All right, this is another testimonial, but we're going to just kind of skip over.
So whenever I was first,
we're going to skip over him for now. And there's a few other testimonial videos in here, but I will be dropping them into the Facebook group instead of spending time going on them right now. So for the next part, we're going through these obstacles here. Look good and feel good from the inside out. There are two things I want you to understand about the relationship between aging and cellular integrity. Drum roll here. How many people have heard of collagen or use collagen? I think we all have heard of it. Use collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies. And did you know you actually have 28 types of collagen in your body? It's a very important component of connective tissue, and our connective tissue, I know some of you have taken my MELT method courses. Connective tissue, oh my gosh, everything, it's everything. Connective tissue is important for our tendons, ligaments, skin, muscles. Collagen helps to give your skin elasticity and firmness. It helps with your lean muscles. And so for example, it gives you structure and strength, right? It is the three-dimensional fluid-based substance that makes us upright and stable as humans. So if you think about your knees or your knee, for example, and how you can flex and bend and absorb shock if you hop, it's all because of collagen. So while collagen is something that we produce naturally, and also animals produce it naturally, the natural production of collagen drops with age, starting, guess when? 25. So as you age, or because you have an active lifestyle, and that can even further impact this. Repeated stresses, repetitive postures and motions will put stress on your joints, your muscles, your tendons, and all the connective tissue. And of course, there is the ever-present force of gravity as well, that's constantly taking a toll on your connective tissue and your collagen containing tissues. So as I mentioned earlier, we have these two important aspects, NADH and NAD+. And those are crucial for your mitochondrial maintenance, which is especially related to your metabolic function. And they convert and offer protection to all those little cellular energy factors you have going on in your body. So while your body will produce the NAD+ and the NADH naturally, it starts dropping even more around middle age, and it continues to drop until we die. So without enough levels in high enough levels of NAD+ in our bodies, our cells cannot generate the energy we need to do our basic daily functions. So we'd be on the fast track to nowhere have fun if we did not have that. So, let's go back. Let's talk about, put this slide up next to talk about the MetaPower Advantage. And this is the third step in the system, which is a powerhouse collagen. So I will say I was taking collagen prior to this, another collagen that I bought at Whole Foods in that blue canister that you've probably seen Jennifer Aniston using on Instagram. And, it was fine. I did notice a little bit of, skin and nails and hair kind of thing, but, nothing pretty dramatic, but I did take it pretty consistently. This system combines the power of marine collagen, NMN, and 10 other ingredients to target cellular integrity and health span. It's a super powerhouse. And this can replace vital collagen that your tissues need and support the natural production of NAD+ in your body. So that helps to what does that mean? Who cares? It helps to slow down the signs of aging inside and out. These 12 synergistic ingredients give your cells what they need to support cellular integrity. And so what does that look like? Firmer skin, more elastic skin, improved cognition and function, more lean muscle and connective tissue, and so many more things. I have no end of things I've been hearing about this particular game-changing product. And this comes in a powder. So I put a little packet in a bottle of water each day and shake it up and just drink it. And it's, kind of like citrusy, I would say, like sort of a citrusy with a hint of mint. I find it very tasty. And I find that it gives me a lot of energy during the day. And I know that there also are people that take it at night and say that it really supports their sleep, but every body is different. So again, it's sometimes something that you need to experiment to see what works for you. So I'd be curious, drop a note in the chat if you already are using any kind of collagen. I'm just curious. So you might already be taking a collagen supplement. And before we play this video, no, you also probably may have heard a lot about a collagen, right? It's there's a lot of marketing about it around it right now. And doTERRA does not spend a lot of money on marketing. They spend it their money and their time and their energy researching and sourcing the best and purest ingredients. And they also spend it in diving into the best science that they can possibly possibly acquire. So a couple of highlights for what's in why the collagen product is very superior. First, and this is probably the most important, it's 12 times more absorbable or bioavailable than other collagen products. So you may look at something and say, oh, it's got 20 grams of collagen, and this only has 3. But I'm not saying this does have 3, but what I'm saying is you may look at something and says, oh, this is more grams. But if your body isn't absorbing it, it doesn't matter, right? So this is 12 times more bioavailable, and that's what is most important, the bioavailability of a product, of any supplement, actually. So on a regular bottle, it might be something you buy in Amazon or something, compare the milligram levels, and then you'll absorb 12 times more into your cells with this than something you might buy on Amazon. And we have another great testimonial here, but in the interest of time, I'm going to just kind of keep.
One of the first things I know.
Going to keep moving along. So this is what I was just talking about. Really important. And I'm not going to go super deep into the science right now, because I just want to make sure, number one, that I respect your time, and number two, that I give you the high, top of the tree version of this. So the one important thing is this is activated by you, right? It's in a powder. It's a hydrolyzed powder, and it's activated by you when you mix it with water. And one important point about that is you do not want to put it in hot water. This is not something to be taken as a tea, right? Just regular room temperature, cool, whatever water. So that's really important. And a lot of people will have asked, and including myself, when I heard we were coming out with a collagen product, I said, what about liquid collagens? Because had heard a lot about that, because there's a lot of marketing around liquid collagens. But most prepackaged liquid collagens use a process to sterilize their water-based delivery system. And when we do that, it eliminates harmful bacteria and a lot of the beneficial active ingredients like the vitamins and polyphenols, that kind of thing. So despite that, going through that process, they're actually less shelf stable than this product in the powder form. And then also, if you are concerned with sustainability, it also means they're shipping heavy water around the globe and increasing carbon emissions and all that stuff. So it's important to doTERRA that we deliver this to in a hydrolyzed powder format, because it's more active and more bioavailable. So just mix it with water. I do this each morning now, and it's quite tasty, and I do find that I have quite a bit of energy throughout the day. So just briefly, again, I'm not going to overload you with science. We've got 12 types of collagen in this product, a lot of different ingredients sourced from sustainably harvested cold water marine fish in Italy. It's our Italy collagen. Now, sometimes people say, is there a vegan version? And the answer would be no, because collagen, marine collagen comes from fish, makes it marine, so it's fish. It's fish. So it's also tested extensively for heavy metals because of that. And other collagen products on the market, whether they're from land or marine sources, contain some other things that we really don't want to be ingesting. Here's a lot of ingredients for you to look at. I'm going to just leave that there for a second. Lots of ingredients that are packed into this powerhouse. To highlight a couple, resveratrol. That is a fabulous ingredient that can help increase that NAD+ that we've been talking about. Sea buckhorn fruit extract. Antioxidants. We know that we need antioxidants to help us with anti-aging. Hyaluronic acid. If you're a woman buying skincare, you probably look for that on the label before. So that is definitely another really important aspect for things like skin and hair and nails and all of that. So another thing, and I really do think it's this particular product that is impacting with me, another benefit that I have personally noticed is chronic pain has reduced considerably. I have a lot of inflammation in my body for a variety of reasons, and a lot of pain from many surgeries and accidents, injuries, and all of that. And I have felt, because this supports our connective tissue system, that it has been really helpful for pain issues for me. So let me just see if we have anything in the chat. Well, sometimes you can't really read it. All right. I see someone saying that they need to go, but I can't read it. All right, so just a little bit about the synergistic ingredients. And if you tried to get all of these things together, it would be over $300 value. You would spend over $300 trying to piece together all of these ingredients, and you can get them other places, right? You can get them low, subpar quality, but you get them all, it's going to be, very pricey. Whereas they've really worked to keep the price of this, even though it's over 340 value, they've worked to keep it low. So when we combine this system with healthy lifestyle choices, then it makes it safe, effective, affordable, and then also powerful, of course. So here's a couple of ways to a simple 3-step process, because I know this is a lot of information, and I try to really jam pack a lot of information in 1 hour. So it might be a little overwhelming, but I'm going to give you 3 simple steps so you can see how easy it is to incorporate these products. First of all, of course, eating a well-balanced diet of whole foods, and then add 1 or more of the metabolic blend products to your daily routine. So it could be a gum, an oil in your water, or these little beadlets, or the soft gel. 1 of these throughout the day. So that would be step number 1. Could pop a piece of gum in your mouth. That really helps with the cravings. Then the assist you take with your largest meal of the day. The largest meal of the day is when you take your assist. I typically take it at dinner because that's usually my larger meal, but if yours is lunch, that's when you would take it. And then once a day, you drink your water with 1 little packet of the MetaPower Advantage. Shake it up and dissolve it. So really 3 simple steps. And a general schedule could look like this. So you'll see on here that we are also including the LLV, which is the lifelong vitality, if you are new to doTERRA, because this is not to replace your lifelong vitality. It's to be used in conjunction with it. So we have created this schedule just to show you both. It says going with the second breakfast. I like it. Like a habit. So this is a sample, 2 drops of the oil and the packet with water, and 1 soft gel with the regular supplements of LLV. During lunch, 1 assist if it's the largest meal, 1 soft gel, and then as needed, the gum, beadlets, or oil. And then in the evening, similar as the lunchtime plan, only difference is you just decide when you want that assist. Unless you have, a bigger, how do I say it? Unless you're starting out at a place where you have kind of like you haven't been having healthy habits and you're really starting over, doing a reset, you may want to take that assist for both of your meals. It's okay to take them with both lunch and dinner to really give you that extra support. So this is a sample schedule for your, typical already doing some healthy things person. If you're starting out with a lot more challenges, we help you create a plan that works for you. So let us move on. Any questions so far? I think never took any form of collagen. Okay. Yes, every day. The blue one. Yes. Okay. I'm catching up. I went to college in the 80s. Ha ha ha. I have no collagen left, I think. Yes, every day. All right. All right. So let's wrap up. So nutrition and metabolic support go hand in hand. This shows you a picture of the MetaPower products. Your LOV are those 3 bottles over on the side. I have been taking that for years. I cannot say enough good things about it. And then they're just adding, the picture of the greens there. But I'll be honest, it's a great product. I just eat my regular greens, right? But this is just showing us that it goes in hand, nutrition and the metabolic support. So here's what I'm inviting you to do. We are offering a 30-day experiment, is what I'm calling it. Try this MetaPower system for 30 days. If you do not take the Lifelong Vitality, I would strongly recommend that you add that as well. But at minimum, try the MetaPower Metabolic System Kit for 30 days and just see what happens. As I mentioned multiple times, there are other pillars of metabolic health. And so if you choose to go on this little journey of experiment, I'm drinking my water, that's also important for health. If you choose to go on this journey, then I would invite you to order this kit and try it for 30 days. If you are already a doTERRA customer, all you do is go into your account, put that little kit in your cart, and off you go. If you are not a doTERRA customer, I will be putting links below and you can use those links to order it. I'm going to put one link for the MetaPower system, and I'm going to put a second link that also includes the Lifelong Vitality. I really recommend, merging those both together, but that's completely up to you. And there are other supplementation choices that can be very powerful here. And the 2 that I would point out are the Terrazyme, which is a digestive enzyme that I try to take at every meal. Don't always, but I try to get in there all the time. And a probiotic, PB Assist. So I'm not going to put a link in there for those products specifically, but any link that I put out there, you can add or take out things. So if you want to add the Terrazyme or probiotics, you can feel free. But I would say to keep things simple, either select this kit or select this kit with the Lifelong Vitality for optimal results, and try it for 30 days. So it is November 1st today. I love the start of a new month, right? And new goals and all of that. And so I am inviting all of you who are listening to try this together and to go on this journey together. There are a lot of education that I'm going to offer you during this time. There are going to be some sample protocols, how you might use it if you are a very active, athlete and you just want extra support, how to use it if you are, hey, I just really need to get my health game together. I'm kind of starting, like at 0 today, and I just want to, start from the, resetting. There'll be different protocols depending on where you are. There will also be information on those other pillars: daily movement, connections, stress management, etc. But this will be your piece for smart supplementation. If we go back to that other slide, this will be filling in the gap of that. And then there'll be information, support, and education on all the other pillars as well, while you are using this on a daily basis for 30 days. So think about it. And I am suggesting that people start together on November 15th. But if this gives you a little time to go ahead and place an order, gets to you, and then you can, get started. In those next 2 weeks, I'm going to be focusing on the other pillars in this group: stress management, healthy connections. Going to be offering some challenges and tips and suggestions and ideas for those things as you wait for your kit to arrive. And then everyone who would like to can start together on the 15th. But you don't have to wait. If you already have it, start now. If you get it in 5 days, or you want to do like overnight shipping, knock yourself out and start. It doesn't matter if we all start at exactly the same whistle blow, but doing it together as a community, there is a lot of power in group energy. So whether you're on day 5 and someone else is on day 1, or you're already on day 15, I was texting with my friend Wayne right before this, and I asked him how he was doing, and he said he started in September. He's down 10 pounds and 1.75 inches on his waist. So that was his biggest result that he has had. For me, I mentioned it's my energy and my pain level are my top results. Hopefully my skin is looking good too. But so doing this in a group, there's always power in group energy. I highly value community, and that's really important to me. So that's why I wanted to do this as a community. And let's see. And so the first step would be to say yes to yourself. Grab the kit from the links that I'm going to be putting in the thread, and then stay present in this group for daily information. There will be an ebook on this whole system. There's the course if you want to go deep in the science, and there's going to be plenty of other information. So thank you, Teresa. She says, your skin is looking amazing. You were radiant this morning. I'm just kidding. You just made my day with that comment. So I'm going to actually, I don't know if I have any, just a quick note. Do not look at this if you're not already a doTERRA customer. But if you already are a doTERRA customer and you do this add-on at reduced prices, just go la la la. You're not hearing me if you're new. There's going to be an option for that as well. So I just wanted to throw that out for our current customers, that the way you can add on things at a reduced cost, you're going to have the chance to do this as well. But let's see, for now, that is the end of the slides. I'm going to stop the share. Stop the share so that I can just say hello to you. Hello. And let me see if I can see any other questions. All right, so I would love to hear from you in the comments. Who's in? Just say, I'm in. If you would like to go on this journey together, it's a little experiment. How long had Wayne been using it when he got that result? He was at convention out in Utah, so he purchased the kit. I believe convention ended like September 19th, so he probably started right around then. So Donna's in. Yeah, so that would be about 6 weeks, maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Yeah. And Mickey has the kit already. Woohoo! So Mickey, you can start right away. You can start with that. Ed is in. Woohoo! I love it. I'm in. I know we have a bunch of people that couldn't get. Teresa's in. Yay! I love it. I know we have a lot of people who were not able to come live, so they're going to listen to the recording, and hopefully we'll get their energy in here too. And so if you're like Mickey and you already have your product, start now. I'm going to be giving the ebook and everything right away in the next couple of days. And Microsoft PowerPoint would like to access your camera. No, I don't know. Why is it asking me that? And you can get started. Now, if you are waiting for your products and you're going to order them now, I'm going to remind you of those other pillars for a moment. And I want you to think of one or two. So healthy eating, daily movement, healthy connections, stress management, and this is going to already cover your smart supplementation. So of those other four, healthy eating, daily movement, healthy connections, stress management, I would love to have you pick one, or for you overachievers, two, and set one small goal for those areas. So I can tell you, for me, daily movement is something I said like that I do all the time. And since the pandemic hit, strength training has kind of gone in the toilet for me. I still managed to get exercise in most days of the week, walked a lot during the 2020 months, did yoga and did cardio, but I completely stopped. I was doing strength training at the gym with the machines, and I completely stopped that when COVID happened. And sure, I get a little strength training and yoga class, and I do some bar at home, but I really like fell off the strength training wagon. So what I'm committing to as one small change for my daily movement is to at least one time a week get a strength training workout in. So, and for healthy eating, the second commitment I'm making is another thing pre-COVID that I was very good at was getting my green juice in the morning. And I really fell off that train as well. I think my juicer probably got cobwebs during COVID, didn't get out that much. And so I am bringing that back, and I have done that the last 2 weeks. I've been having some green juice or green smoothie almost every morning, at least during the weekdays. And so those are my two things, my two actions that I am committing to in the other areas. Let me, if I want to end the meeting. Not done. Is that like giving me the hook? I don't know. So those are my two things, and I'm putting out there to all of you so that it helps me stay accountable. And that is one of the, again, the beauty of doing things in a group and the community. And so if you want to, John said, took the juicer out today. Yeah, I love my juicer. I've had it for so long, and I go through phases. Like I'll be really consistent in juice every day, and then, you know, like we're all, life gets in the way of certain things and we get off track in certain habits. So those are the two pillars that I'm picking to focus on, in the two actions. And I would love to hear from you. She said, I didn't say I used it. Yeah, so I'd love to hear from you. And even if you're not in, even if you say, Kristen, I'm not buying any products, I'm not doing anything, then do the other, you know, just do this part, right? Say, I'm going to put smart supplementation on the shelf. I guarantee you your results will be exponentially better if you add in that factor. But I get it. We like to meet people where we are. So if it's not for you at this time, still go on the journey for 30 days with us. Pick two areas and two actions in those areas, an action in each area, and join us anyway. All right. So thank you so much for your time. I will see if I missed any questions. I will put the links in the comments right now after we sign off. And I'm excited because it's important to me to feel good on the inside, look good on the outside, and to really help others do the same. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your time tonight, and have a good night.